Hi, I'm Rob Brown, physiotherapist for the team, and today I'm going to give you the top 5 tips to stay injury-free on the bike. Tip number 5, train smart. It's all about quality, not quantity. Everyone wants to be fast and everyone wants to be fit, but if you do too much, too soon, something's going to give. So remember, manage your training load. Get in contact with a good coach or a good exercise physiologist that can help manage your training load appropriately for your needs. Tip number 4, a good bike fit. So it's not only to help with comfort and performance, but it'll also minimize your injuries. So the first thing we need to do is have a look at the cleat position. You want your cleats set up so the line of force goes underneath the ball of your foot or just a little bit behind. Okay, if you mess this up, you may start to have some Achilles injuries or anterior knee pain. Also, the play should be pretty much straight and a little bit of play either side. Then with the seat height, you don't want to be too high or too low. If you're too high, you're going to overextend through the knee, develop hamstring pain and lower back pain as your pelvis drops and puts more strain on your lower back. If you're too short, then you're going to jam up. Your knee's not going to be able to extend properly and you can start to get anterior knee pain. Forward and back movement of the seat and also your stem position will determine how far forward and how far back you are. So if you're too far forward, you'll be stretched out, starting to get neck, thoracic pain and lower back pain, and also you'll overextend through that lower leg again. If you're too jammed up, you'll start to get cervical pain. So get in contact with a good physiotherapist and a good biomechanist who have experience in doing good bike fits and get one done. Tip number 3, stretching to maintain good joint range of motion and muscle length. Now in Durbo's TT top 5 tips, he adopted a unbelievable position for the time trial bike, and to see how he is able to get into that position, we have the man himself, Durbo. So to get into that position, he needs very, very good flexibility, and he listens to his physio and he engages in a really, really good stretching regime off the bike. So first, Durbo, give us your hamstring stretch. Beautiful. So maintaining a straight back, hip flexion. Okay, then we go into the glutes. Now it's very important to keep good flexibility through the glutes to keep the hip flexion, or else you'll flex through your lower back and get lower back pain. Thanks, Durbo. The other important muscles to stretch are the anterior muscles. So because riders spend a lot of time in flexion, 2 up to 7 hours in a flex position on the bike, when you get off the bike, you want to stretch the muscles at the front so that you don't adopt a flex position as you're walking around. So give us your hip flexor quad stretch. So quadriceps up the front here. Then leaning forward, you can stretch your hip flexors. And then very important as well to open up through here, stretch your abdominals, and then you can even lift your arm up here to get a nice pec side trunk stretch. Thanks, Durbo. Tip number 2, you must have good movement patterns and muscle activation. This helps not only with preventing injuries, but also helps with improved performance on the bike. And a really quick way to demonstrate that is with a quick and easy squat action. So when you squat, you want to keep your back in its neutral position. So a nice little arch, keep the pelvis rotated just a little bit forward, and you want to initiate the movement with your hips. So that engages your glute muscles. As you come down, don't let your back flex, okay? Or else you'll have too much strain through your lower back. You won't be able to engage your glutes enough. So as you come down, keep that knee from going over the top of your toes. If you go too far forward, you're going to put a lot of strain on the anterior part of your knee. So if I do it straight on as well, you want to keep your knee, middle of your knee, in line with your second toe. If you move inwards, you're going to place a lot of strain on the medial part of your knee, get a lot of tightness down the lateral aspect of your thigh through your IT band, TFL, etc. So keeping that movement on the bike, in the power phase of your pedal, you want to push up from that position. And the number one tip for staying injury-free on the bike is road safety. Up until now, we've talked about things that can prevent musculoskeletal injuries, but if you have an accident on the road, something much worse can happen. So be aware on the bike, out on the road, be aware of pedestrians, other cyclists, as well as motor vehicles. And the other thing is to protect your noggin. So always wear a helmet. And to help us with choosing the right helmet and the right fit is Sports Director Matt Wilson.
Yeah, so the most important thing when you're getting a helmet is to buy the right size, obviously. So you put it on your head, and straight away you can feel, is there much movement? If there's not a lot of movement, then you know you got the right fit, and that's before you do the extra locking system. Then obviously lock it up, and then you should have even less movement. The second most important thing is the straps. So you look at the straps, that right, and you'll see that they're symmetrical and nicely balanced. So that's right. And you go down the bottom, do it up, and have it nice and firm. A lot of people like to have a bit of breathing room like that, but then when you got that, the helmet no longer works. So always make sure it's very tight and snug. And that's it. Away you go.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And that's our top 5 tips for staying injury-free on the bike. And ORICA-GreenEDGE looks forward to giving you more tips to enjoy your cycling. Thank you.